Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. So today I thought, since we're more than halfway through the year, I'd like to do just kind of a tier ranking of all the games that I've played so far in 2024. Some of these are new games, some of these are old that I love going back to, and some of them are a bit of in between. I thought it'd just kind of be fun to rank all of them today. I would love to start with Cozy Grobe. Now, Cozy Grobe is a fun, almost fetch quest kind of game. You are a villager character who is on an abandoned island who needs to go and collect spirit wood. The spirit wood helps process the grief some of these bears or ghosts have experienced in their life, and it also expands the island so you get to meet new characters. So because I play on the Switch, sometimes there is decent delays or lags where areas won't load properly and I'll be stuck running into things. However, it is a smaller developer and I do love the aesthetic of it. I love playing it. Anytime I play it, I'm usually playing it for at least an hour. So for that, I would say it's an A tier. Next, I'm gonna do Animal Crossing Wild World. So I know this game is super, super old. When I was moving, I found my childhood Nintendo DS. I've only played it for about a month now. I kind of love the sass that the villagers give in Wild World. I am bullied. And honestly, I kind of love it. It's really hard to catch fish sometimes. Like, they will go away within a second. And I like too how Tom Nook actually is just the shop owner. He's not like in charge of the town. He doesn't own anything. I think it has a lot of charm to it. I feel like it's a lot of fun, and I honestly think for the graphics of the time, it's really held up. Next up, we're gonna do Cult of the Lamb. Now, Cult of the Lamb, as it sounds, you are this little lamb character, and you have been judged to be killed. And during your judgment, you actually are saved. However, because your savior saves your life, now you must run a cult under their name. And it's really fun. I do love dungeon crawlers, so there's a bit of dungeon crawling, there's a bit of setting up resources, gathering resources, planning your towns, some strategies to it. There's even some gambling in it, which is kind of fun. There's fishing, so there's a lot of really fun aspects to this game. I do come back to this game from time to time. I don't play it for like hours and hours on end. However, every time I play it, I have lots of fun. I'm gonna put this in S tier. Now, the reason it's an S tier and I don't play it for long periods of time is because I feel like mentally it is a lot to take in and do for long periods of time for me, but I always have so much fun while playing it and after. So Cult of the Lamb, first S tier game. Absolutely love it. It deserves all the accolades it's received. It is just such a fun and unique game to play. Up next is a game I would say I was more influenced to by, and that game is Dwarf Romantic. Now, Dwarf Romantic is super fun in the way where it's a very relaxing game. You're trying to fit puzzle pieces together, and the puzzles are the different environments. I think it is fun. I do like it to relax too. However, I do regret not getting this when it was on sale. I think Dwarf Romantic for me is just in a B tier, as I just have so many other games that I play instead to relax to that I've gotten for less money. The next game is Fall of Porcupine. So Fall of Porcupine is a bit of a newer game. In this game, you follow Finley as he is becoming a doctor. There is a lot of fun different aspects when it comes to combat. You can do rhythm-based solutions, there are puzzles, and you're just kind of solving these to essentially become a doctor. You get assessed every single day, and the storyline is really, really great. The characters are so unique, they're very well developed, and so far I'm very much liking the game. Right now it's an A tier. However, at some point, if I play it a little bit more, I think it might get bumped up into S tier. I think we are going to go back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. Now, this might be a little bit polarizing. I absolutely love Animal Crossing New Horizons. There's so much fun to be had with Animal Crossing New Horizons. It's cozy, it's interactive, you can have friends over, you can play online. However, I do feel like some things are missing from New Horizons, and I not saying I don't have fun with it. I have over about 550, if not around 600 hours playing Animal Crossing New Horizons. I love, 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 love this game. I really feel like that long-term playability for a full price $60 game is very important. And for that reason, unfortunately, I would have always said it was an S tier game. But for me, now looking back, playing it, and now we're 4 years after the release, it has unfortunately gone down to the A tier for me. Next up is a completely free game. I have loved playing it on my Switch. I haven't been playing it as much as I used to. However, I easily got over 150 hours in this game. I got my friends to play it with me. We downloaded it. We played it together. It was so much fun. And that is Palea. So Palea is a fun MMO based game. Palea is so much fun. There's so much heart and soul put into it. There are so many characters to get to know, to interact with. The storyline is good. There are so many quests to complete, as well as the developers also put in a lot, and I mean a lot of free updates. It's almost every single month there is a large update that these developers put into it. However, that being said, I am so heartbroken to hear that most of the team was laid off, because you could tell the love, the joy, the heart, the soul that was put into this. And since then, I haven't reached for it as much. That being said, this game is so much fun, especially for it being free. I personally think this game is an S tier game. Next on our list is the game in Bento. So the game in Bento, you are essentially a mother cat making lunch for her kitten throughout the game, and it's a really fun puzzle-based game where you're kind of lining up sushi to make a certain pattern of other sushi with the pieces that you have. I think I only got this game for like $1.50, if not $2. I think the graphics are super cute. There is some storytelling to it as well, which is nice. I think for $2, it's a really nice, fun puzzle game. I would have to say, though, I have to put it in B tier games. Maybe this list is me just finding out I'm not a huge fan of puzzle games. I think it is super cute, but just like I said, compared to other games, I don't reach for it as often. Next up is Pokemon Legends Arceus. I have had so much fun playing it. The graphics are gorgeous, especially for a relatively open world Pokemon game. As a huge Pokemon fan growing up, this really re-sparked my love for Pokemon. There were the original Pokemon that I grew up with. There were some new ones as well too. I also think it's just kind of fun to run along with the Pokemon and actually be able to see it firsthand. The storyline compared to other Pokemon games is not as strong. I've just had a lot of fun playing Pokemon Legends Arceus, and I would have to say it is fairly expensive. That's to be expected though with a Pokemon game. It has re-sparked my love for other Pokemon games where I have gone back and played them. This is hard because the storyline is not that great. But for me personally, I love catching the Pokemon. I love fighting other Pokemon. I'm gonna have to say Legends Arceus is S tier for me. Next up on the list is Kirby and the Forgotten Land. So Kirby and the Forgotten Land is the only Kirby game I think I have purchased in my life. It is so much fun. Like I said, I'm not a big platformer, so this game really appealed to me in the sense of the graphics, how the world is laid out, how to kind of go about new areas, how to collect new items. I love playing multiplayer. Usually if I have people come over and they want to play multiplayer on my Switch, but they don't want to play the classics like Smash or any of the Mario games or even Switch Sports, Kirby is my go-to. I love Kirby. Everybody who's played it with me has had so much fun. The different levels and lands are very unique for the game. I think the colors in it is just so vibrant and fun, and it kind of really feels like playing a game as a child again. I love that Kirby can suck up the car or the vending machines or the cones. I just think it's so much fun, and for me, Kirby is S tier. I just think of this game so fondly. Like I said, it's so vivid, so fun, very reminiscent of childhood. And for me, it just has to go in S tier. I just love playing Kirby. Now, next up, very expensive game, going off of kind of Mario as well, is Princess Peach Showtime. So Princess Peach Showtime, you go to a movie theater, disaster strikes, and you essentially have to turn into these different, I would like to call them peach sonas, where you have different abilities, you get different outfits, you get to fight different enemies as well too. I thought this was a fun game. I thought the graphics were very, very, very beautiful. The concept is fun. However, the price for it versus the long-term gameplay and the ability to come back and play it, I don't feel like is there for $60. The gameplay versus cost ratio is kind of low, and for me that's very important. So unfortunately, Princess Peach Showtime has to go in C tier. Up next is Ni no Kuni 2 Revenant Kingdom. I have played this game for a few hours. I do like combat games sometimes, and I feel like this is my sweet spot of the combat's fun, it's hard but not too hard. The gameplay is very beautiful, the areas are just stunning. It kind of almost looks not exactly like Breath of the Wild, but very similar to Breath of the Wild, which is why I think I'm drawn to it. And like I said, for how much I paid, I think so far I have had fun with it. I think it's pretty, I think the storyline is worth it. I like that there's voice acting to it as well too, which is why it feels a little bit more polished to me, where if I were to have known what this game was and if I were to have that money, I think I would have spent full price for it. As I'm not too far in the game, similar to Fall of Porcupine, I would say this is an A tier for me, as I could see it going up in the tier ranks, but I think I need to get closer to completing the game to really fully weigh in on if it's an S tier game. All right, up next is Tiny Lands. Tiny Lands is similar to the puzzle-based games. However, this is more of a find the object game. It's really cute as each level is a different world. It has really cozy music. It constantly goes on sale. So I think for me personally, Tiny Lands belongs in the A tier. All right, wrapping up with our final three. Weird final three to have, however, hear me out. So I'm gonna start with the big one, Stardo Valley. Now I have been a Stardo Valley fan since the game was launched back in 2016. I think it just holds up so incredibly well over the years. And while the graphic style might not be for everyone, I personally find it to be just quite endearing. I love that the creator, he consistently does large free updates for the game. The characters are interesting, it's always fun. There's really never the same way to play Stardew Valley, as well as there's never a right or wrong way to play Stardew Valley. And I also like that there are quests and objectives and things to help you go along throughout the game. I have purchased this game several times, where I've purchased it on PC when it first came out. I've purchased it on my Switch. I've purchased it for about 3 or 4 of my friends, and I would purchase for more of my friends. So for that reason, Stardew Valley is S tier, top tier game. Absolutely love it. I come to it time and time again. It is just so much fun, and I can really sink in so many hours to it. Up next, super fun game. You probably know it as the fruit game or the watermelon game, whatever you want to call it. This is the Suika game. It's essentially like a fun, not stressful, but stressful version of Tetris. I've easily put like 15 hours into this game, but you're just trying to stack fruits. It's so much fun. It's only a couple of dollars. I reach for it all the time. Like, if there's a guilty pleasure game for me, it's the Suika game, and it has to go in S tier for me. I didn't think I'd have this many S tier games, but I do. And then last but not least, we have Witchwood. So in this story, you are a witch who's kind of made a deal with a little devil goat. I think it's very fun in the sense where you learn the recipes. I think it's fun in the sense of combat as well too. There were so many times where I just wanted to not put this game down. However, at some points it did feel a little fetch quest-ish. So if you're not a big fan of fetch questing, that's not the whole point of the game, but you do have to keep going back to gather resources, or you do have to grab some things for some of the people that you meet along the way. And I think the art style is really fun. I think it's a game that I would replay again. I fully finished the game and I think I would go back to it as time has passed. However, I wouldn't say it's necessarily an S tier game, as I think the fetch quests were getting a little bit too much for me at some points. However, I did really love overall playing the game to the point where I fully completed it and I have thought about going back and replaying again. Alright, so that is going to be today's tier ranking. Now, within the tiers, I didn't really organize them in any which way. However, I think this is a good summary of all the games that I've played so far this year. Let me know down below if you disagree with any of my takes, if you think there are any games that you think I should try, or if you think there are any games maybe I should go back and look at with a different lens. Thank you so much for watching today, and I hope you have an amazing day. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, and I hope to see you in the next one.